Okay.
These are all prospects. You pick one, you make your case why that player makes sense for the Jets.
I know.
Make your case.
Oh, man, here we go.
So we got a series of prospects.
Essentially, like, pick a card, any card. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a magician. I'm not.
Make your case.
Okay.
We're going to now have you make your case.
You're going to have to make the case for why this player makes sense for the New York Jets.
I got to tell you, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. I don't know which camera I'm on. Abdul
Oh
Carter.
my gosh.
Penn State defensive end.
There you go.
Truly, I think, one of the two best players in this entire draft class, Abdul Carter, just a tremendous player who plays, in arguably one of the most important positions in the entire NFL right now, while the Jets, as I mentioned, do have two outstanding young pass rushers when healthy. I think there's nothing wrong with having a trio of great pass rushers.
Oh, Will Johnson.
Okay.
Let's talk about one of the elite players in this draft, and certainly a top 2 to 3 player at his position at corner, Michigan Wolverine.
Yep.
And I think this combine is actually, could be really valuable for him because we didn't see him a ton this year.
Mm-hmm.
He's got really good 2023 tape. Obviously made people, kind of summon up those thoughts of Charles Woodson, wearing the number, playing the position, having that type of expectation. He didn't shy away from it. He could have chosen a different number. Could have, in playing that position. They didn't. I think you want that kind of bravado as a corner. Aaron Glenn, top-notch corner in the league, has been on the defensive side of the ball his whole life. I think he would jump up and down on the tables in the draft room if you're able to get a player like Will Johnson and have 2 corners with all-pro potential like Sauce and Will Johnson. So there you have it.
Okay, there you go.
Oh, Kenneth Grant.
There you go.
He would be fit perfectly
Yep.
next to Quinnen Williams. Perfect. He'd be the perfect match. If I had to pick a player in this whole draft, that would be the perfect complement to Quinnen. It would be Kenneth Grant.
And why is that?
Well, first of all, he's going to eat double teams for you. Like double whoppers. I mean, he's a massive guy that I think he's got some pass rush to him. But, I mean, he's a block of granite inside. And the Jets have been needing a player like that for a long, long time.
Mikael Williams, they just don't make him like that very often. I mean, you don't see Mikael Williams walking down the street, over 35-inch arms. The guy, he played the whole year with an ankle injury. And so, that important context when you watch his film. Before, I think, when you watch him as a freshman and sophomore, it was just a big guy using his ability. This year, there's more nuance to what he's doing with his pass rush attack. He's got more of a plan. He understands how to leverage with his hands. And so you think about what Aaron Glenn wants at an edge rusher. I think Mikael Williams, even though he might not have the proven production ideally you want, he's got all the tools, and he couldn't go to a better spot in terms of getting coached up for what he can do.
Okay, yeah, Cam Ward. Okay, state my case. He's got elite talent. It's a natural thrower. The power in his arm is real. Like another guy can spin it and throw it through a wind at the Meadowlands, right? Not a problem. The ability, as we know, so important in the NFL to make some plays off schedule. I don't have a problem with his decision-making. I've heard this already from some people. Oh, it's raw. I don't know if it's his decision-making or he's just a little greedy at times, right? He might see a guy over here and go, hey, the 5-yard throw is open, but I think he gets bored with it sometimes. He's like, man, screw that. I know I got another guy going deep. And then it's like, oh, well, he's not open. And then it's like, oh, crap. And then he's got to run around and do some crazy crap. And then Caleb Williams had a little of that. And that's where NFL coaching will have to kind of rein him in, right? But damn, I don't know. I've had a lot of people tell me he's raw. I don't know if he's a first-round talent, and he wouldn't be in the same stratosphere as the guys last year. And I want to just, even in my early stages, just want to throw a challenge flag and be like, are you freaking kidding me? He wouldn't even be in the conversation with him? The guy that, could have won the Heisman this year and was throwing lasers and was like the number one must-see TV guy in college football a lot of weeks. Like, that's my case for Cam Ward.
Who'd you get?
Oh, Malachi Starks. This is easy. So we spoke with him today. He might be one of the smartest players in this draft class. He can play center field. He was a high school quarterback, but his sideline to sideline is off the charts, and he has ball skills. He's incredibly smart. He will come downhill and pop you. And if you told me he went 7, I'd be like, sign me up for that. He might last because he plays a position that sometimes gets pushed down a little bit. He's a day one starter. He's an easy evaluation. He's going to be great in the interviews. He's incredibly personable, incredibly smart. And this is the layup for me. I could do this one all day long. I could take him higher than 7 if I needed to.
What do we got?
Jedrick Wills.
Okay.
It's always good to invest in the offensive line. Jedrick Wills, ex-first round pick out of Alabama. He's got injury problems, right? And that's been a big part of his issues there in Cleveland, not being able to stay on the field. Now, Jets fans will know you could have said something like that about Mekhi Becton, and then he goes to the Eagles, and all of a sudden he's a starting guard for 18 games, right? Injury problems are a tough thing to predict. But in general, right, if you give me the ability to invest in ex-first rounders in the offensive line, low cap hits, potential transition to guard, right, like Becton had, that's good business, right? That's the way you want to be filling out your offensive line. You want to have a lot of cracks in the bat, right? A lot of opportunities to swing on it. So that's why I've always said Jedrick Wills is great for the Jets.